Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, Crochet for Baby. Thanks for watching. In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to crochet this little sweater for boys and girls between 18 and 24 months. Now the stitch that I used is the moss stitch. It's a very easy stitch. Now this little jacket, like I said, it's for 18 to 24 months, but you can easily make it smaller or bigger. Down here in the information box, I'm going to leave you some information on how you can make it smaller or bigger between 6 and 9 months and up to 4 years old, so be sure to check that out. Also, at the end of the tutorial, I leave you the finished measurements, and stay tuned. In another tutorial, I'm going to show you how to crochet the matching hat. Okay, so let's get started, and thank you for watching. Okay, to begin, I'll be using this 5.5mm crochet hook, and today I'm using this medium number 4 yarn. I'm going to use two colors. I'm going to use this gray, and I'm also going to use this blue color here. This is Stylecraft Special Aran, and the color on this is Aster. Okay, so here to begin, I have 51 chains on the second chain from the hook, 1 and 2 right here. We're going to make a single crochet. Single crochet into the next chain, single crochet into the next, and so on. For this first row, this is all we're going to do. We're just going to make one single crochet on each one of the chain. At the end of this first row, we're going to have 50 single crochets. Continue, and I'll meet you at the end of this first row. I finished this first row. I have 50 single crochets. Now for the second row, chain 1 and turn. Now in this row we're going to increase, so beginning into the first single crochet, make a single crochet. Into the next, make 2, then 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, and so on. So here into the second one we're going to do 2 single crochets, then into the next one only 1, into the next one 2, into the next 1, and so on. This is how we're going to continue for this second row. You're just going to do 2 single crochets, then 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, and so on. Continue, and I'll meet you at the end of this second row. I finished this second row, and I have a total of 74 single crochets. Here at the end, I just finished my making 2 single crochets, and here at the end, I did not make an increase. So make sure that you have 74 single crochets. Now for the third row, we're going to change to this color here. So we're going to go back into this same space where I did my last single crochet. So insert your hook there. You're going to grab a loop with the new color, and then you're going to pass this through the gray loop, and then just pull the gray loop like this so that that stitch closes. And now with the blue color, I'm going to continue here and chain 2. Now turn. Here we're going to begin our pattern. We're going to use the moss stitch. So you're going to skip the first single crochet, and into the second you're going to make a single crochet, chain 1. Skip 1 single crochet, and into the next make a single crochet, chain 1. Skip 1 single crochet, and into the next make a single crochet, chain 1. Now this is all we're going to do for this third row. Skip 1 single crochet, and into the next make a single crochet, chain 1. Continue like this for this third row, and I'll meet you at the end. Okay, I finished the third row. I have a total of 37 single crochets. I'm just counting the single crochets, and here at the end we have the 2 chains. Now for the fourth row, we're going to chain 2 and turn. Now here what we're going to do is into each one of the chain 1 spaces, we're going to make a single crochet, chain 1. Single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, chain 1, and so on. This is all we're going to do for this fourth row, so continue, and I'll meet you at the end of this row. I finished the fourth row. I have a total of 37 single crochets plus the 2 chains here at the beginning. Now for the fifth row, we're going to change color, so we're going to grab this gray color here. So to do this, you can do it 2 ways. You can insert your hook into the chain 2 space here at the end and grab the loop like this, bring it through the front, pass it through this loop, and then pull the blue so that that stitch closes. And now with the gray, chain 2 like this and turn, or I'm going to do it this new way. I have my last single crochet, so right to the very side we have this little bar right there. See, right there, this is the single crochet. So just insert your hook back into that little space of that single crochet, grab the gray yarn and pass the gray yarn through this loop and then the loop of the single crochet. See, like this, and that kind of sort of looks like it's invisible, so you can still see the single crochet. So I think I'm going to do this from now on. So that's how I'm going to join. So now with the gray color, we're going to chain 2 and turn. In this row, we're going to increase. So here in these first 2 chain 1 spaces, we're just going to do a single crochet, chain 1, and then single crochet, chain 1. Now into this next space, we're going to increase. So each one of the increases, this is what you're going to do. Into this same space, you're going to do a single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, chain 1. Here's the increase. Now jump to the next one and do single crochet, chain 1. Now into this next one, an increase. So single crochet, chain 1, and then single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, chain 1, and then an increase, single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, chain 1. This is all we're going to do for this 5th row. You're going to make a single crochet, chain 1, and then an increase, single crochet, chain 1, and an increase. Continue like this for this 5th row, and I'll meet you at the end. I'm here at the end of this 5th row. This is where we increased. Here at the end, I just finished by making a single crochet, chain 1, and a single crochet into this chain 2 space. If you count each one of the single crochets, you should have 54 single crochets plus the 2 chains here at the beginning. Now for the 6th row, we're going to chain 2 and turn. Now here in this row, we're not going to increase or anything, so all we're going to do is inside each one of the chain 1 spaces, you're going to do a single crochet, chain 1, including right here in the middle of these 2 single crochets. So let me show you. Single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, chain 1, and then we have the 2 single crochets, and right in the middle we have a chain 1 space. So make a single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, chain 1, and so on. This is all we're going to do here for this 6th row. Continue and I will meet you at the end. I'm here at the end of this 6th row. I have a total of 54 single crochets plus the 2 chains at the beginning. Now what we're going to do for row 7 and 8 is this row here, the row in blue. So I'm going to insert my hook here to the side of this single crochet, the last one that I did. I'm going to stop using this gray and I'm going to bring the blue here like this, and I'm going to pass this loop through both loops here like this. Now pull on the gray so that this stitch here closes a bit, and now you're going to chain 2 and turn. So for row 7 and 8, you're just going to chain 2 and turn, and then into each one of the chain 1 spaces you're going to do a single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, chain 1. Now when you finish the 7th row here at the end, you're going to make your last single crochet into this chain 2 space, then you're going to chain 2, turn, and then repeat this same row. So continue, finish the 7th row, start the 8th row, and I'll meet you at the end of the 8th row. Okay, finish row 7 and 8. At the end of each row, I had 54 stitches plus the 2 chains at the beginning. So now here for the 9th row, we're going to do the same thing we did on the 5th row. We're going to increase. So here we're going to stop using this blue color. So insert your hook into this loop next to the single crochet. You have 2 loops now. We're going to grab the gray like this and pass this loop through both loops here. Now pull on the blue color to close that stitch a bit. And now here you're going to chain 2 and turn. Now for this 9th row, into these 2 chain 1 spaces, you're just going to do a single crochet, chain 1, and then single crochet, chain 1, and into the 3rd chain 1 space, this one here, you're going to make your increase. Each one of the increases is going to consist of a single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, chain 1, jump to the next space and make a single crochet, chain 1, and then an increase. Single crochet, chain 1 into the next, and then an increase. Single crochet, chain 1 into the next, and an increase. And that's all we're going to do for this 9th row. Single crochet, chain 1, and then increase, single crochet, chain 1, increase. Continue like this for this 9th row, and I'll meet you at the end. Okay, I'm here at the end of this 9th row. In this row we did increases. Here at the end I finished by making 3 single crochet, chain 1s into the last 3 chain 1 spaces. Now you should have a total of 79 single crochets plus the 2 chains at the beginning. Now for the 10th row, chain 2 and turn. Now in this row we're going to do single crochet, chain 1 into each one of the chain 1 spaces. So here, make a single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, chain 1, and then we have the increase, and in the middle we did a chain 1, so there also make a single crochet, chain 1. Now this is all we're going to do for this 10th row, so continue and I will meet you at the end of this row. I'm here at the end of the 10th row. I have a total of 79 single crochets plus the 2 chains at the beginning. Now what we're going to do for rows 11 and 12 is the 2 rows in blue. So we're going to stop using the gray color, grab this blue color, insert your hook right here to the side of this single crochet. I have 2 loops, grab a loop here, and then pass this loop through both of these loops that are on my hook. Now pull the gray like this a little bit, and now with the blue, chain 2 and turn. Now for row 11 and 12, all you're going to do is inside each one of the chain 1 spaces, you're going to do a single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, chain 1, like this. When you finish this 11th row, at the end of this row, you're going to have 79 single crochets plus the 2 chains. You're going to finish that row by making your last single crochet here into this chain 2 space, then turn and then repeat the same thing for the 12th row. And at the end of that row, you're going to have the same 79 single crochets. So continue for these 2 rows, and then I'll meet you back at the end of the 12th row. Okay, I finished row 11 and 12. Now for row 13 and 14, we're going to repeat the same thing, but we're going to change to this gray color. Now we're not going to make this row of increases anymore because I don't need to increase the yoke anymore. Like I said, for row 13 and 14, we're going to change here to the gray color. So just grab the gray, insert your hook here to this, into this single crochet here to the side right there. I have 2 loops on the hook, grab a loop in gray, pass it through both of these loops on the hook like this. Pull the blue a little bit, and that stitch is going to close. Now you're going to chain 2 and turn. So for row 13 and 14, you're going to do the same thing we did on row 11 and 12, like I said. So into each one of the chain 1 spaces, you're going to do a single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, chain 1, and so on, like this. Now when you finish this 13th row right here, you're going to finish by making your last single crochet into this chain 2 space, then turn, and then do the same thing for the 14th row. I'll meet you at the end of the 14th row. Okay, I finished row 13 and 14. At the end of each row, I had 79 single crochets. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to do the same thing for row 15 and 16. The only thing is we're going to change here to this blue color. So insert your hook here to the side of the single crochet like this. We're going to grab a loop in this blue color, pass it through both loops, pull the gray color like this so that that stitch closes, and now you're going to chain 2 and turn. So here we're going to repeat the same thing we did on these last 2 rows. Into each one of the chain 1 spaces, you're going to make a single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, chain 1, and so on. This is all I'm going to do for the next 2 rows. When you finish here, this row 15, you're going to make your last single crochet into this last chain 2 space, then chain 2, turn, and then finish row 16. I'll meet you at the end of the 16th row. Okay, I finished row 15 and 16 and my yoke is done. Now it's measuring this part here. The whole thing is measuring about 11 centimeters, which is almost 4.5 inches. Now what we're going to do in the next row is divide the sleeves. So here I have placed my stitch marker. So here I have, for each one of the front panels, I have 11 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then I have my stitch marker. For each one of the sleeves, I have 18 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and then into this chain 1 space, I have my stitch marker. Now, for the back side, we have 21 single crochets, and then again for the sleeve I have 18, and then here for this front panel I have 11 single crochets, and then the 2 chains also here at the beginning. So here, let me show you what we're going to do for this first row. We're going to start counting rows, and now I am going to continue with this blue yarn. So here you're going to chain 2 and turn. Now we're going to make a single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, chain 1 into each one of these chain 1 spaces. Now you can cut your yarn here, this gray one, or the color that you're not going to use anymore. So here I'm going to continue until I come to the first stitch marker. Okay, so here's the stitch marker. Make a single crochet here. Now let me count these single crochets. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then I have the chain 2s here at the beginning. Now let me cut this yarn because it's getting on the way here. So now to divide the sleeve, we're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to skip these 18 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And into this chain 1 space here, make a single crochet, chain 1. And here you're going to continue for the back side and work a single crochet, chain 1 into each one of the chain 1 spaces until you come to the next stitch marker, which is here. I will meet you right here to show you how we're going to divide the other sleeve. Okay, I finished making the back side. We have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 single crochets for the back side. Now to divide the other sleeve, chain 4, skip 18 single crochets, and into this stitch marker here, we're going to make a single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, chain 1, and so on. Continue and finish this front panel, and I'll meet you at the end of this first row. Okay, I'm here at the end of this first row. This is where we divided the sleeves. I have a total of 45 single crochets. Now for this front panel here, I have 12 single crochets. Then we have the 4 chains. For the back side, we have 22 single crochets, and then again 4 chains. And then for this front panel, we have 11 single crochets plus the 2 chains here at the beginning. So that's a total of 45 single crochets. Now for the second row, we're going to chain 2 and turn. Here we're going to work a single crochet, chain 1 into each one of these chain 1 spaces. So I'm going to do this until I come to the 4 chains that we did under the sleeve. So all we're doing is single crochet, chain 1. Okay, so here's my last chain 1 space. So I'm going to make a single crochet, chain 1, and into the first chain right here, I am going to do a single crochet, chain 1, single crochet into this same stitch. We're going to increase here. Now skip the second chain and into the third chain right here, do the same thing. Make a single crochet. Don't forget to chain 1 here between these two increases. So here into this third chain, make a single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, chain 1, and then we have the first chain 1 space for the back side. There you're just going to now continue and do the same thing here for the back side. Okay, so continue like this, and I'll meet you right here to show you same thing I showed you here. Okay, I finished the back side and I'm here into this last chain 1 space. So here I did a single crochet, chain 1 into this first chain here, make a single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, chain 1, skip the second chain and into the third right here, make a single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, chain 1, and we have the first chain 1 space for the next front panel. So continue here in the same way till you finish this second row. I will meet you at the end of this second row. Okay, finish the second row. For this second row I have 51 single crochets. Now for the third row, chain 2 and turn. Now in this row we're going to work these single crochets, chain 1 into each one of these chain 1 spaces. I'm going to do this until I come to the increases I did under the sleeve. We're going to again increase there, so just work single crochet, chain 1 here. Okay, so here's my last chain 1 space here. I have, let me count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 single crochets and then the 2 chains. Now here we have the 2 increases that we did on the previous row. Right in the middle we have a chain 1 space. So in there you're going to make a single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, chain 1. And then right between the 2 increases we have a chain 1 space. You're going to do the same thing, single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, chain 1. We're going to increase here 3 times. Now don't forget to chain 1 here, and right here into the second increase from the previous row, again a chain 1 space, do a single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, chain 1, and then continue here with the pattern. Single crochet, chain 1 now, single crochet, chain 1, and so on until you come to the other side. Here at this other side, I'll meet you right here to show you how we're going to do the same thing we did here. I'll show you right here. Okay, I finished making the back side. Now here I have my last single crochet, chain 1 into this last chain 1 space, and then I have the increases that we did under the sleeve. We have the single crochet, chain 1, single crochet. So right in the middle of these 2 single crochets, I'm going to make a single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, chain 1. And right in the middle between the 2 increases in this chain 1 space, make single crochet, chain 1 and single crochet, chain 1. And then we have the next increase right in the middle of these 2, make a single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, chain 1. And now we have the first chain 1 space of the front of this front panel, so single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, chain 1, and so on. Continue and finish this third row and I'll meet you at the end. Okay, I'm here at the end of this third row. I have a total of 57 single crochets for this row plus the 2 chains at the beginning. Now from here on we're not going to increase anymore, so all we're going to do is chain 2 and turn, and here into each one of the chain 1 spaces you're going to make a single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, chain 1. Here I'm going to finish these stitches here for this front panel so that I can show you what you need to do here under the sleeve, which is the same thing. There's a chain 1 space on each one of the increases, so you're going to do the same thing, a single crochet, chain 1. So here's the chain one space, make a single crochet, chain one. Now we have the first increase right in the middle. We did a chain, so make a single crochet, chain one. Then right in between the two increases we have a chain one, so make a single crochet, chain one. And we have the second increase, same thing, in the middle of these two single crochets, make a single crochet, chain one, and between these two another chain space, single crochet, chain one, and the last increase here, make a single crochet, chain one between the two. And now you're just going to continue for the back side and work a single crochet, chain one into each one of the chain one spaces until you come to the other increases here under the sleeve. And you're going to do the exact same thing. Into each one of the chain one spaces you're going to do a single crochet, chain one, and then finish this fourth row. I'll meet you at the end of the fourth row to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I'm here at the end of this fourth row. I have 57 single crochets plus the 2 chains at the beginning. Now from here on, this is the row that we're going to repeat. We're always going to have 57 single crochets, and we're always going to start in the same way. You're going to chain 2 and turn, and into each one of the chain one spaces you're going to do your single crochet, chain one, single crochet, chain one, and so on. When you finish this row, you're just going to chain 2 and turn and then repeat. I'm not exactly sure how many rows I'm going to do from here on, but continue watching. I'll let you know exactly how many rows I'm going to do, so I'll meet you at the end of that row. Okay, I finished making this part here. I did a total of 30 rows. From here where we divided the sleeve up to the last row, it's 30 rows, and it's measuring about, from the top of the neckline down to the last row, it's measuring about 12 inches, which is about 30.5 centimeters. Now what I'm going to do here for this row is the following. Now if you want to make it longer, you can. I'm just going to leave it like this. So here, chain 1, turn, and on top of the first single crochet, make a single crochet. On top of the next single crochet, make a single crochet. Here we're going to skip the chain 1 spaces from the previous row and just make single crochets on top of the single crochets like this. This is going to reduce the bottom a bit, so this is why we're going to do it like this. So 1 single crochet on each one of the single crochets. Continue, and I'll meet you at the end of this row. Okay, I finished making this row of single crochets. I have a total of 58 single crochets. If you're off maybe by 1 or 2, it's okay, just continue. Here at the end into this chain 2 space, I did a single crochet at the end as well. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change to this color gray. So we're just going to go into the stitch here to the side of the single crochet like this, just like we did when we were changing color up here. Just grab a loop here in this gray color, bring it through both loops like this. Now pull the blue here so that that stitch closes, and now with the gray, just chain 1 and turn. Now on top of this first single crochet, I'm going to make a half double crochet. So yarn over, insert your hook on top of the first single crochet, grab a loop, 3 loops, close. Now here we're going to work front post and back post half double crochets. If you prefer to do this part here by making single crochets, just like we did the first row, maybe for, I don't know, 4 or 5 rows, then that's fine too. I know some people have a hard time making front post and back post stitches, so that is another option for you. It's going to look different, but it still should look okay. So here, beginning into this second single crochet, we're going to work a front post half double crochet. So yarn over, insert your hook like this through the front, and you see the post is right in front of the hook. Grab a loop, 3 loops, close. Now for the back post, you're going to yarn over and go through the back around the post, and you see how the post is behind the hook. Grab a loop and close. Front post half double crochet, back post half double crochet. Front post half double crochet, back post, half double crochet. This is all we're going to do for this row, so continue and I'll meet you at the end. I'm here at the end of this row of front post and back post half double crochets. Here at the end I finished by making a half double crochet on top of the last single crochet. Now for rows 2 and 3, this is what you're going to do. You're going to chain 1 and turn, then beginning on top of the first half double crochet you're going to do a half double crochet. And then you're going to work either a front post or a back post half double crochet. Here you can see that this is a front post half double crochet, so we're going to work a front post half double crochet. Into the next, a back post half double crochet, and then front post half double crochet, and so on. When you finish this row, you're going to make your last half double crochet on top of this last half double crochet here, and then chain 1 and turn, and then repeat the same thing. I think I'm going to do a total of 3 rows, so continue and I'll meet you at the end of the 3rd row. Okay, I finished making this part here. I did a total of 4 rows instead of 3 rows like I mentioned. So make sure that you have 4 rows, and I'm right here on the right side. This is where we started. See, this is where we have this end of that yarn there. Okay, so here, what we're going to do is we're going to work half double crochets here along the very edge. So to do this, you're going to chain 1, and we have our last half double crochet that I did. So insert your hook there and make a half double crochet, half double crochet into the next row, half double crochet into the next, half double crochet here into this last row. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 because we have 4 rows. And now we're going to make a half double crochet into the first row in blue here. Now here we're going to make 2 half double crochets, then skip 1 row, 2, skip 1 row, 2, skip 1 row. Let me show you. So I already have 1 here, so into the next row I'm going to make another half double crochet. I'm going to skip the next row, and into the next here I'm going to make a half double crochet and a half double crochet. Skip the next row, and into the next 2 rows make 1 half double crochet on each. This is how I'm going to work this part. So skip 1 row, and into the next 2 rows 1 half double crochet on each. Okay, so continue like this all the way to the top. I'll meet you here and I'll let you know exactly how many stitches I have. So I'll meet you here at the top. Okay, I'm here at the top. I did a total of 38 half double crochets for this part here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to chain 1 and turn, and we're going to work our way down doing front post and back post half double crochets. Now again, if you prefer to just do half double crochets on top of each one of these half double crochets, you can. It's going to look different, but it should look okay. So here, to continue, on top of this first half double crochet, make your first half double crochet right on top, and then into the next work a front post half double crochet, back post half double crochet, front post half double crochet, and so on. Continue for this row and I'll meet you here at the bottom. I finished making the 2nd row. Now we're going to make 1 more row in the same way. So chain 1, turn, and here we're going to make a half double crochet on top of this first half double crochet, and then we're going to work a front post half double crochet, back post half double crochet, and so on. Continue to the top and I'll meet you here to show you how we're going to work the neckline. Okay, I finished making the 3rd row. I'm here at the top of the neckline. So now what we're going to do is the same thing here around the neckline. So here I have 1 chain, and into this last half double crochet that I did, make a half double crochet. Now into the next space, make a half double crochet, and then a half double crochet here. So we have 3 half double crochets. Let me fix this last one. I'm going to do it right here. So that's 3 half double crochets, 1, 2, 3. Now what we're going to do, like I said, is half double crochets here, but we're going to make front post and back post half double crochets. So beginning here into this first post right there, make a front post half double crochet. Into the next, a back post half double crochet. Front post half double crochet, back post half double crochet, front post half double crochet, back post half double crochet. This is how I'm going to continue, alternating between a front post and a back post half double crochet. Now, if you prefer, you can also make just half double crochets like this into each one of these spaces in between the single crochets that we have here, like this. That's also going to look nice. It's going to look different, but you can do it. Just continue and I'll meet you here at the end. Okay, I'm here at this other end of the neckline. Now we're going to do the same thing we did here. We're going to do here on this side. We have 38 stitches on this side, so we're going to make sure to have 38 half double crochets here. And then we're going to do the 3 rows of front post and back post half double crochet. So here to begin, chain 1, and into this last half double crochet that I did, make a half double crochet. Then into the next, make a half double crochet. And into the first row in blue, that's 3, and then we're going to do 1 more into the next, and then skip 1 row and into the next a half double crochet and then half double crochet. Skip 1 row and into the next 2, same thing, half double crochet into the next 2, and then skip 1 row and then half double crochet into the next 2. And that's how we're going to continue here. Skip 1 row and into the next 2, 1 half double crochet on each. Okay, I think that should work out pretty good there. So continue and I'll meet you here at this end. Okay, I have 38 half double crochets and I'm here at the bottom. Now we're going to make 1 more row, so chain 1 and turn. Now into this first half double crochet, make a half double crochet. Into the next, here we're going to work a front post half double crochet. Into the next, back post half double crochet. Into the next, front post half double crochet, and into the next, back post half double crochet. This is what we're going to do here. Now again, if you prefer to do just half double crochets, you can just do 2 or 3 rows. So continue and I'll meet you here at this other end. Okay, I'm here at the top of the neckline now. I did my last half double crochet here on top of this first half double crochet. Now we're going to chain 1 and we're going to go around the neckline before we finish this other side. So right here where I did my last half double crochet, insert your hook and make a half double crochet. Then into the next row, make a half double crochet right there. And then we have the first back post half double crochet in this case. So we're going to work a back post half double crochet, then front post half double crochet, then back post half double crochet. And I'm going to do this until I come to the other end of the neckline. So continue and I'll meet you here to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I'm here at the other end of the collar. Here I did my last half double crochet into the last stitch here. Now we're going to chain 1 and turn. Now what we can do here is we can do 1 more row of front post and back post half double crochets, but I think it's going to be too high, this part here. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm just going to work slip stitches here. So into the first half double crochet, make a slip stitch, into the next a slip stitch, and so on. This is all I'm going to do. So continue and I'll meet you at here at this other end to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I'm here at this other end of the collar. We did slip stitches here. So now what I'm going to do is we're going to work the 3rd row of front post and back post half double crochets here for this other side. So to do this, chain 1 and into this first stitch right here, make a half double crochet into the next, and now we have the front post half double crochet and then a back post half double crochet. So into this first one, make a front post half double crochet, into the next back post half double crochet, front post half double crochet, back post half double crochet, and so on. Continue and I'll meet you at the end to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I finished this last row here at the end. All I did was just make my last half double crochet, then cut my yarn and pass my yarn through this last loop. Now all I have to do is just hide this end, and this part here is done. That's what it looks like. I went ahead and added these buttons. Now these buttons I purchased from Joann's. I know many of you asked me, where do I purchase my buttons? Many of them come from Joann's. Now here I did not add any buttonholes because the spaces in between the rows of half double crochets can be used as buttonholes, so you can use that as well. So this is what it looks like. Now what we're going to do is we're going to make one of the sleeves. Now this one here, I started it, but I'm not sure if I want to do gray. I think I'm going to do blue instead, but I'm going to do this one here in blue. It's going to be done exactly in the same way. So here we're going to start right under the sleeve on the right side. You're going to find the center here, so right about here, insert your hook there, grab a loop, bring it through the front, chain one, and into this same space here make a single crochet and chain one. Now we're going to go into this next space right here and make a single crochet, chain one, and then into this space here, this is where we divided the sleeve, into that same space make a single crochet, chain one. Now what we're going to do is inside each one of the chain one spaces around the sleeve, we're going to do a single crochet, chain one. We're going to continue with the same pattern here, single crochet, chain one. Okay, continue all around, and I'll meet you here at this other end to show you how we're going to finish this first row. Okay, I'm here at this other end of this first row around the sleeve. Now up to here I have 22 single crochets. Now we're going to join here to the beginning, but we're not going to chain one here at the end. If we were to chain one, then we would be adding an extra stitch on the next row, and I don't want to do that. I want to reduce on the next row. So here, don't chain one and just join to the first single crochet like this with a slip stitch. Now for the second row, chain one and turn. Now we're going to find the first chain one space, and it's right here. So here is the single crochet, and then we have the chain one space. So in there, make a single crochet, chain one, and then continue all around the sleeve, making single crochet, chain one into each one of the chain one spaces like this. Okay, so continue like this, and I'll meet you here at the end of this second row. I'm here at the end of the second row. Up to here I have 21 single crochets. Now to finish here, we're not going to chain one here. We're going to find the chain that we did here at the beginning, this one here, and we're going to join with a slip stitch. And that's how we finish the second row with 21 single crochets. Now for the third row, chain one and turn. Here we're going to reduce again. So find the first chain one space, which is right here. See, this is the last single crochet, and we did not chain one here, so we're going to go here to this chain one space and make a single crochet, chain one, and then single crochet, chain one all around the sleeve. This is all we're going to do. So single crochet, chain one into each one of the chain one spaces from the previous row. Continue, and I'll meet you here at the end of this third row. I'm here at the end of this third row. Up to here I have 20 single crochets. Now here at the end we are going to chain one because we're not going to reduce anymore. From here on we are always going to have 20 single crochets. So now to finish, we're going to go here to the side where we have this chain and join with a slip stitch. And this is how I finished the third row with 20 single crochets. Now for the fourth row, chain one and turn. This is what you're going to do from here on for every row. You're going to turn, and then into the first chain one space, which is this one here, you're going to make a single crochet, chain one, then single crochet, chain one into the next chain one space, single crochet, chain one, and so on. This is all I'm going to do for this fourth row, so continue, and I'll meet you here at the end to show you once again how to finish each row from here on, and then how to begin each row. I'm here at the end of this fourth row. Up to here I have 20 single crochets. Now to finish this row and all the rows to follow, always chain one here at the end and join to the first single crochet right here with a slip stitch. And that's how I finish the 4th row. Now to begin each row from here on, chain 1 and turn, and into each one of the chain 1 spaces beginning here, you're going to make a single crochet chain 1, single crochet chain 1 into the next, single crochet chain 1, and so on all around the sleeve. When you finish, you're going to remember to chain 1 and then join to the top of the first single crochet with a slip stitch, chain 1, turn, and then repeat the same thing. Now, I'm not exactly sure how many rows I'm going to do here for the sleeve, but continue watching. I will let you know exactly how many rows I'm going to do, because eventually we are going to have to switch to a smaller hook to finish the sleeve. So I'm not sure how many rows that's going to be, but continue watching. I will let you know exactly how many rows I'm going to do. So I'll meet you at the end of that row. Okay, I finished making the sleeve, and this is what I did. I did a total of 21 rows, which is up to here, using the 5.5mm crochet hook. Then for a total of 12 rows, right here, this part, I used a 4.5mm crochet hook. Now this part here is measuring, let's see, it's about 21 centimeters, which is about 8 inches. A little bit more than 8 inches, but that's the measurement. So now what we're going to do here, my last row here, so if you add 21 plus 12, you should have a total of 33 rows. So this is my last row here. So using the 4.5mm hook here, we're going to now make the cuff, this part here. So to do this, I'm going to use this gray color. So I have a loop ready here. To finish the last row, all I did was just join to the first single crochet right there with a slip stitch, cut my yarn, and pass my yarn through that last loop. So here, insert your hook into the same stitch, grab a loop like this, and chain 1. Now we're going to work front post and back post half double crochet. So beginning into this first single crochet, work a front post half double crochet. Now if you prefer to do this just in single crochets or half double crochets all around for a couple rows, you can do that. Now the next one is a back post half double crochet, next one front post half double crochet, next one back post half double crochet, and so on. This is all we're going to do for this row. We're just going to alternate between a front post and a back post half double crochet all around. So continue, and I'll meet you here at the end to show you what we need to do next. I'm here at the end of this first row. Now here to finish, we're just going to go here to the side where we have this chain and join with a slip stitch. This is how I finish this row. Now for the second row, we're going to chain 1, and we're going to work these stitches in the same way. We have a front post half double crochet here, so we're going to work a front post half double crochet. Next one, back post half double crochet. Next one, front post half double crochet. Next one, front post half double crochet, and so on. You're just going to continue in the same way we did the first row. Now when you finish this second row, you're going to join here to the side with a slip stitch, and then you're going to change to this 5.5mm crochet hook to do the last row. You're just going to chain 1 and then do the same thing, front post, back post, front post, back post, half double crochets for that last third row. Now I did this with this bigger hook because I don't want this to be too tight here, so that's going to make it a bit more loose. So if you want to do it in the same way, that's how I did mine. Okay, so continue and finish these 3 rows, and then I'll come back and show you the finished sleeve. Okay, I finished this last row here at the end. All I did was just join to the beginning with a slip stitch, cut my yarn, and then pass my yarn through that last loop, and my sleeve is done. Now you're going to do the exact same thing we did here. You're going to do it here on this other side. It's done in the exact same way. Everything is the same. Now let me give you the finished measurements since our little sweater is all done. Now from the top of the neckline down to the end of the sleeve, it's measuring about 34 centimeters, which is about 13.5 inches. From under the sleeve to the end of the sleeve, it's measuring about 23 centimeters, which is about 9 inches. Now this part here, from the top of the neckline down to under the sleeve, it's measuring about 15 centimeters, which is about 6 inches. And from the top of the neckline down to the end here, it's measuring about 35.5 centimeters, which is about 14 inches. And this part, the chest area, it's measuring about 29 centimeters, which is about 11.5 inches. So based on these measurements, this little sweater here is for boys and girls between 18 and 24 months. Now, you can also make it smaller or bigger. Down here in the information box, I'm going to leave you some information on how you can make it smaller. I'd say between 6 and 9 months, and bigger up to 3 to 4 years old. So be sure to check that out. And I used about 256 grams of yarn. Now stay tuned. In another tutorial, I'm going to show you how to crochet the matching hat. Okay, so this was today's tutorial. I hope you like it. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time.